Hello and welcome to Hank Games Without Hank. My name is John Green. As you can see, Swindon Town is in 5th. That's good enough to qualify for the playoffs, where we can maybe get to the Premier League by winning a couple games. We're playing Southampton today, Premier League team in real life, and in a stunning turn of events, it is raining in England. I am going to talk to you today about how to be single. Mostly because, so that I can tell you that tomorrow, as I'm recording this anyway, is the second annual Maribration, one of the greatest holidays ever invented. It was invented by Meredith, who produces the Swoodilypoopers, helps make it happen. And it is the anniversary of Meredith being single. And she always brings cupcakes to work, so everybody's a fan of Maribration in this office. Oh, look at that, look at that, look at that play! Oh, no! What a poet! And what a finisher. It's Wordsworth, the great William Wordsworth. Tomorrow is Maribration, and that's made me think about what being single and how to be single. I don't know anyone who is as good at being single as Meredith, so maybe I should just let her host this this podcast / video game. What is this show? What do we do here? It's very strange. So a couple of the biggest recommendation I have for being single is to enjoy being single instead of constantly being like, where is my boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, whatever. Oh, green eggs and Fotheringham. Where is this person whom I need in order to feel like a whole person? A woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle, people, to quote the great Gloria Steinem. Yeah, so you don't, I mean, I've found in my own life that once I embrace that and I say, like, well, I'm going to try to enjoy all the stuff that I can do that I couldn't do when, you know, when I had to make certain compromises and sacrifices for a romantic relationship, I'm just going to do that stuff. So for me, I remember I had a long, about a year-long, oh gosh, period of singleness after one relationship ended and before another began, and it was really difficult at first because I was super bummed out about the breakup, because I don't know if you guys have noticed this. If you've watched a lot of Swoodilypoopers, you have noticed this, but I got super bummed out by a lot of breakups in my life. So I was super bummed out about a breakup, and I wasn't coping with it very well. And I moved into this apartment. I was living by myself. And what I found was that when I wasn't dating someone, I never had to watch TV shows that I didn't like. And also, I could read books at night and go to bed at 8 o'clock if I wanted to. Or I could stay up till 1 in the morning reading books. I could do kind of whatever I wanted. Now, of course, that isn't always the case because some of you have, like, parents and rules and stuff. But there is, you know, there is always something to enjoy about that. And the other thing is that you can, like, you know, make out with people and no one will get mad at you or have their feelings hurt. And that's fun. There's, you know, like there's the empowerment of being able to kind of make the decisions that make sense to you and not have, you know, be free to not make it about a, you know, a partner and trying to honor them. Now, of course, like there's a lot of good in those kinds of relationships. Like obviously I'm married. I'm a big fan of marriage, and I think, like, you know, that the generosity and sacrifice that's a part of marriage also involves, like, a lot of, like, you know, your partner giving you important gifts and stuff. So there's a lot to recommend both. So I'm not saying, like, I think being single is, like, the end-all be-all of human existence by any means. Like, I'm a big fan of being married. But, you know, there is one of the, like, cool things about being a person is that you get to enjoy, you know, if you're in position X, then a lot of times there's stuff to enjoy about position X, and if you're in position Y, a lot of times there's stuff to enjoy about position Y, and some of that stuff is mutually exclusive. So enjoy your time and enjoy your sovereignty. Enjoy the right to watch the TV shows that you want to watch and read the books that you want to read, and spend time with your friends, and understand that romantic love is not the only valid form of love between humans. It's not the only thing that we do that matters. So you can have those friendships where you hang out all the time, which is much harder to do when you're in a romantic relationship, or after, God forbid, you have children. Things are looking pretty dark for the Swoodilypoopers. Southampton's moving the ball very well. They're doing some tiki-taka stuff. So I guess that's my biggest recommendation is, you know, like, it's fun. It's so, you know, it's fun to It's fun to be able to make your own, to have that, like, those choices. You know, if you go straight from high school to college to marriage, sometimes you don't have the freedom to make those, like, you know, empowered choices. You know, sometimes you make terrible choices, of course. I've made some. But they're yours, and there's something really fun about the fact that they're yours even when they're sort of bad. So that's what I would say. It's not so bad being single. And, you know, don't worry too much about getting a partner or whatever. It'll happen. You know, and it's not that, like, oh! Oh! The disappointment is palpable. You know, it's not that, it's not the point of being alive. I think I really, 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 really like my family, and I really like my wife, and I wouldn't want anything to be any different in my life. I genuinely, but I look back on that time of being single with great fondness. I read so many good books then. I read Everything is Illuminated, and I read The Amazing Adventures of Fotheringham. Meredith, what did he do? What did he do? What the hell was he thinking? What was he doing? That's not the green eggs and Fotheringham I know and love. Now I feel betrayed by romantic love because I have had some stirrings of feelings for green eggs and Fotheringham. I won't lie. Sarah's okay with it. We talked about it. I said I like a fictional character in a YouTube video series that I play, and she was like, "That's cool." Oh, I got the ball stolen from me, and everything is cheating. Meredith, do you have any tips for being single? Is there anything I missed? Yeah, this is true. There's a great there's this famous book, Love Story, by Eric Siegel. I think that's his name. Fault in Our Stars is often compared to it because they're both sort of like tragic-y love stories. But I mean, hopefully, Fault in Our Stars is like a self-conscious response to Love Story and stories of its ilk. But anyway, the famous line from Love Story, none of you will know this because no one is as old as I am. The viewers of this show, I am the oldest of them. I can't take out Merrick. He's my heart. Don't ask me to remove my heart. I can't take out any of these guys. I love them all. The most famous line in that movie is, and there's a movie too. Most famous line in the book is, love means never having to say you're sorry, which is, of course, ridiculous. Love means constantly having to say that you're sorry. And I mean that in the best way. Like, it means, like, having to be aware of the needs and feelings of others and aware that, like, the limits of your empathy sometimes inhibit your ability to, be as generous and kind as you ought to. So of course you have to say you're sorry. And this whole, that's just a ridiculous idea. But, as Meredith has often pointed out, being single does actually mean never having to say you're sorry. So those are her words of wisdom. Just go out and do fun things. The hardest thing for me when I was first single after the end of this long relationship that I was in, the thing that I found most difficult, there's a beautiful run. Beautiful run! You've got to finish that, sir! Oh, the frustration. You have to finish. The most difficult thing for me was that I didn't want to go out because I was sort of just depressed. I didn't want to meet people. I didn't. But then once I started to enjoy, I made friends and I started to really enjoy my time with those friends. Even though those weren't romantic relationships, they were really fulfilling relationships. They were really important relationships to me. And they became like the central, and in many ways, by the way, those are still, all of those relationships are still extremely important to me, particularly with my friend Shannon, who's one of my closest friends. And, Shannon and I had always been friends, but because I was, in these consuming relationships were the only thing where I would be professionally dating this person, where my identity was as their boyfriend. It was impossible for me to have as good and deep and meaningful a relationship with Shannon as I ought to have. So I don't know. I think there's yeah, lots of opportunities there. Speaking of opportunities, we're in the 84th minute, and Swindon Town. What are you doing? Get your head out of your bum. Sorry, I'm talking like a British person because I am from Swindon, I guess, in this fictional version of myself. Just a devastating. This is going to be a devastating draw, and you know how many times Green Eggs and Foteringham has made the difference for us. Well, today he made the difference for us again, but not in the good way. Maybe there's a chance. What are you doing? What is wrong with you, other John Green? I think he misses his husband. I'm starting to think that other John Green also feels like my relentless pursuit of the past and my belief that I can take every version of Swindon to the Premier League glory, that he's also starting to believe that I'm, oh God, oh, anything but this, Green Eggs and Foteringham. That he's also starting to worry. He's also starting to feel, I think other John Green might be infecting his thinking is what I'm telling you. They do live together after all, and I think that they're starting to like tell each other stuff. Go, 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 go. Why do you blow the whistle when I'm on a roll? Thanks for watching. Don't sell. What? Why are we congratulating him? He's the reason we drew. Best wishes.